Thank you everyone for joining today for this information session about the Melbourne-Bandung Food Waste Challenge for 2025. Very excited for this new collaboration. It's the first time that Rocket Seeder has completed this program. We've got a few innovation challenges under our belt now, plus a history of supporting agri-food and food waste startups. But this is an exciting way to foster some cross-city collaboration and come up with some great solutions. Before we get into it, I will pass straight over to Megan to complete an acknowledgement of country on behalf of City of Melbourne.
Thanks, Katie. So just as is customary in Australia, I'd like to do an acknowledgement of country. The City of Melbourne respectfully acknowledges the traditional owners of the land on which we work, live and play, the Wurundjeri, Wurrung and the Boonwurrung peoples of the Kulin, and pay respects to elders past and present. We acknowledge and honour the unbroken spiritual, cultural and political connection that they have maintained to this unique place for more than 2,000 generations. And obviously we acknowledge all the Indonesian participants who are joining us here today as well.
Great, thanks, Megan. So we will get straight into it. You'll have all seen by registering on Humanitics that this event goes for an hour and a half. We are thinking that that will wrap up a bit early, so you'll have some time back in your day. But essentially, we'll go through a presentation. There's a Q&A section towards the end. Please use the chat function throughout to ask some questions. We won't be ignoring you if we don't answer them straight away, but we will just try and cover that content already through the presentations, and then we can, fix anything else up with those directly relating to the questions. So this session, as you can see down the bottom, it will be recorded and we will be sharing that with everyone that registered. And this footage will also be published on the Rocket Seeder website, along with all the other information about the challenge. If you've already looked at the website, you'll see there's a frequently asked questions section, and questions that we talk about here today will also be added to that list. So we will get straight into putting some faces to names and emails that you'll have already heard about if you've heard about this challenge. We'll have 4 people speaking today, and that includes myself. I'm on the right there. My name's Caitlin Towsell. I'm the General Manager of Rocket Seeder. And then going from the left, we have had Megan Cockcroft from the City of Melbourne. Megan is the Senior Business Development Coordinator and coordinating the Australian Partnership site. Lutfi Budaman is from the City of Bandung, and the English translation of his role is an Environmental Education Officer. And Piers Grove is also online, along with Emma Coath from Rocket Seeder as the Executive Director and Chair, respectively. I'll pass to Megan. Megan, did you want to jump in and chat about the partnership between the two cities?
Yes, so if you're wondering why we've partnered up together, City of Melbourne and City of Bandung partner cities, we've been working together on a number of initiatives over the past 6 years, including innovation challenges. And last year we signed an official memorandum of understanding, an MOU, which was to collaborate in these 5 areas that you see on the screen. And so as part of that, we don't want it to just be a bit of paper. We want it to be a series of projects and initiatives. And this challenge is the first one under this MOU. So very excited to be partnering up on this.
Great, thanks, Megan. Piers, did you want to jump in and speak to Rocket Seeder's side?
Sure. Rocket Seeder is a not-for-profit, and we're really excited to be partnering on this food challenge. As Katie said, Rocket Seeder has run food waste challenges in the past, but this will be our first one with Indonesia as a partner. So we're really excited about that. Bandung is a city I've spent time in, and I have a deep respect for the city and its international and forward-looking perspective. So really excited about that. And we've been working and based in Melbourne for many years, so that's more familiar, but we always enjoy working with the City of Melbourne on these things. So our organization, Rocket Seeder, is dedicated to supporting founders and inventors and businesses who want to innovate in the agriculture and food systems and sectors. So we support founders and inventors from very, very early on in their journey as they develop their technology, bring it to market, and hopefully turn it into a successful, scalable business. Our food waste challenges are a big part of making sure that we are working with people to address real problems. And so our role with Katie leading this project will really be around supporting all of you who come through the program, working with our partners to make sure that we develop the most useful, relevant solutions to this global problem of food waste.
Great, thanks, Piers. And now we'll get into the problem. Why we're actually focusing on food waste at all. Megan, feel free to jump in here. I realize that I may not have told you that we were going to put you in for this slide, but here are
I
a few
saw that.
stats. Yeah, Megan, you
Excellent.
jump in.
Thanks, Katie. I'm sure all of you are aware that food waste is a global issue. We've got some stats in there, but it's estimated that we're wasting 1.3 billion tons of food every year, which is an enormous amount. And tackling food waste is a triple win opportunity for the climate, obviously for food security, but also for the economy and sustainability of our food systems. So I think collective action is needed here. This is a challenge that you see in your city in Bandung, as well as we see in Melbourne, as other cities around the world. And we see this challenge as an opportunity as well to collaborate, to encourage practical innovation. And by doing so, we can tackle and make a significant impact on food waste, both in Melbourne and Bandung and beyond.
Great, thanks, Megan. Piers, you want to jump in and chat about some specific sectors we're looking to target?
Yeah, sure. Obviously, the food waste challenge is enormous, and we have chosen three industry sectors to target for this particular food challenge, food waste challenge. We've tried to identify sectors that are common to Bandung and Melbourne, and we've settled on three. So the first sector is the fresh food markets, where I guess the food from harvest and the agricultural sector comes to market to be distributed through to all sorts of different consumers. So that's the first area we want to look at is those markets and where food waste is occurring in that supply chain. The second is hospitality, and this is a fairly broad area. It can be a hotel, a local cafe, it can be a high-end restaurant, and we've partnered with organizations that will be able to give us insights into that sector, both in Indonesia and Australia. The third sector is airlines. I think if you've been on an airline recently, you will have seen the extreme waste that goes on with food on airlines and also in the airports. So that's the third area we'll be looking at. So we're asking for each of you to identify one of these areas for the focus of your own solution.
Great, thanks, Piers. And now that we've set a bit of a scene of why we're doing this challenge, we'll now chat to you about what we're actually doing. So again, Megan, your turn to jump in again. These are some of the aims that were set for the challenge, based around what you're wanting to achieve through the partnership, through Melbourne and Bandung, and what seems to be a great chance to bring in the thriving innovation sectors of the two countries and two cities.
Thanks, Katie. Yeah, it's, I think, absolutely exciting to bring together both cities, but also, the government with the industry sectors, with, as well as universities and research organizations to help, bring these bright minds together to solve what is a really critical issue. So when we're looking at objectives, I guess we've got the practical outcomes. We really want the development of scalable food waste solutions, particularly for the three industries that Piers talked about. And we want to be out, we're looking at, hopefully, as a result of this, having some that can be piloted and tested and implemented both within our cities, Melbourne and Bandung, but but globally beyond that. I think the second one is really around that awareness of food waste issues. I think, we probably see it in our daily lives, but maybe not as aware of what it looks like behind the scenes, which is really where we're partnering with our industry partners in the catering and the food market and airline industry, and the potential that impact innovation has to make a difference. And I guess ultimately for me in our international team at City of Melbourne, we really want to foster that cross-cultural collaboration. We know that problems that are not unique to Melbourne have solutions that are not unique to Melbourne, and the same in Bandung, that what can work in Bandung could work here. We want that knowledge exchange. We want to create that ecosystem of connections and network of innovators that are committed to sustainability and really creating sustainable and resilient cities. So I guess those are our overarching aims, but really practical innovation that can be implemented is what we really would love to see.
Fantastic, thank you. And I can stop throwing to people and actually chat now. I'll take on that. Talking about what the actual challenge looks like. So as you can see here, we've added it up and we've designed the course, the challenge, sorry, and it goes over a 13-week period. So you may know by now that applications are open. I hope you know. And we're looking for people to start those applications now and get them in. Sounds like it's far away, but I'm sure the 14th of March will pre very quickly. I will go into a bit of detail later on about the applications process, as well as the Find Your Team form that we have, so that we can potentially explore some new collaborations between different people that maybe aren't yet on an in-depth journey for a startup, but want to and think that by joining up a team or finding some other collaborators, they might be able to fast track a solution for this challenge. And then the actual challenge itself is broken down into 4 parts. So at first, it's about exploring what the challenge is. As we've said, there's 3 key sectors that we're looking to address, and each of these sectors reflects a different category of the challenge. So in the application form, you'll see there's the option to rank which of the 3 areas you're most interested in, so that each participant will be allocated a challenge. They'll be given a statement they need to respond to, and from once receiving that statement, they'll be receiving a whole range of unique information specifically about what they're trying to address, getting some expert insights from industry partners themselves, getting some really exclusive back of house tours so they can not just read about what's going on that we're not visible to as consumers, but actually see it themselves, ask questions, find out what is at the crux of these problems and what are the really important methods for them to focus on in creating a meaningful solution that fits the market. So that's week 1 and 2 is really about exploring the challenge, breaking it down, asking questions, finding out more the lay of the land. Then weeks 3 to 7 are really focused on building your innovation. As much as we will talk about how there are some prizes up for grabs that we're very excited to be giving away, at the end of the day, this is an innovation challenge that every person that participates should be able to get some fantastic value out of it in terms of capability building, knowledge resources, and access to support through mentors, industry partners, our teams, and elsewhere as well. So in these weeks 3 to 7, we'll be holding a number of webinars and learning sessions for all the participants. There'll be networking events in person and online. And we do have a dedicated mentors pool, which we won't go into a lot today, but basically having people on speed dial when you need a question, something really specific perhaps, or something quite broad as you test out the idea for your innovation and how it fits into these challenge statements. Weeks 8 to 11 is really about pitching your solution. So you'll learn how to pitch your solution effectively. This is a really key skill that I think can be quite underestimated, but there's a reason why it's in a lot of these innovation and accelerator programs. It's really important not only for you to understand what your solution and your innovation is, but to be able to effectively communicate that. So we go into some detail on some pitch training and making sure that there's no gaps in what your solution is. It's the final stage of fine-tuning your innovation. And then the final stage of the whole program is where we have finalists invited to pitch at a final pitch night, and our winners will be selected. So Within the three categories, there will be 2 to 3 finalists selected each, so a total of 6 to 9 finalists. And then our in-person pitch night, we'll find 3 winners overall, and we'll go through the prizes in a second. Or we'll go through them right now. I forgot the order of my slides. So here are some details around the prize pool for those winning teams. Again, 3 overall winners. And the really exciting part of it, the number one highlight in the prize pool, is the opportunity to pilot your solution with an industry partner. So we will show our industry partners in a second. You can see some already hinted to here, but not only just about getting the insights from the industry, but the hands-on coordination and collaboration with the partners to get it up and running, get some really fantastic data about your solution, get it going, getting some really great traction, which is really tricky to track unless you know who to speak to. So yeah, really exciting, tangible opportunity for that next stage for people as they grow their organization. The second part, which is also very exciting, might be a little bit biased, but that includes entry into Rocket Seeder's next accelerator program, which is a 6-month-long accelerator program for startups that are at that scaling and commercialization stage. So again, this program has been designed so that we can get some really tangible results and some great innovations that are already underway or at the early stages. So this seems like a fantastic next step for the highlights from the participants. On top of that, winners will receive ongoing access to the mentors that meet throughout the program, as well as ongoing networking opportunities with the various partner organisations. To add to that, we are looking to add some additional prizes that go beyond just those 3 winners. There's so many different measures of success, and we want to make sure that lots of teams are celebrated. We can't give away too many details just now, but what we can say here is a teaser. We're looking at giving a Research Potential Award, working title there, where essentially a team will be selected to run a collaborative research project where it seems like a great opportunity for their innovation to take a different direction or maybe a different step as compared to the pilot opportunity that the winners receive. But we'll mention it a bit later, but we are looking to add additional prizes for people. So if your organisation is interested in providing that, whether in kind or in the form of sponsorship, please reach out to us. Something again to emphasise is that this innovation challenge is a competition, yes, but it is really key that we focused on those initial aims that Megan went through. And one of those is that collaboration piece and coming up with solutions, not just the 3 solutions. That's not what this challenge is about, but it's actually about coming up with a lot of solutions. Every participant in this program should be creating some great traction through the resources they'll be provided and the opportunities to participate. So we see it as really key to making sure that you stay connected to the other teams and the other participants. So as mentioned, there'll be some industry briefings and webinars. They'll be conducted in a group setting. We'll have an online community set up so you can stay connected, and opportunities to just keep in touch with the group whenever you'd like to, whether it's in your best interest, and just continuing to build your network out as an individual or as a startup. And I'll pass over to Piers now to introduce the exciting industry partners here. And then Megan, I believe if you wanted to add anything to that too, you can jump in as well.
Cool, and maybe Lutfi as well from Bandung.
Yes, that would be great. Look, as Katie said, we've at this stage we've got 5 industry partners as part of the event. For fresh food markets, we've got the famous Queen Victoria markets in Melbourne. In Bandung, we're delighted to have the Kosambi market coming on board. And in hospitality, we've got a catering and cafe business called Showtime Event Group. Showtime Event Group currently cater for the majority of the City of Melbourne's official events. So really delighted to have them on board. And we also have the Destiny Catering Group out of Indonesia, particularly the team in Bandung. And finally, our airline partner is Garuda Indonesia, and we're delighted to have them on board, and they're providing insight as well as some travel in between Bandung and Melbourne. And we hope to have another airline and airport partner to announce in the next few days. So we've got really good partners that we think are going to give us a really high level and informative view of the challenges that they face and make sure that the ideas that we're developing are as relevant and useful as possible. Lutfi, is there anything you'd like to add at this time on the Bandung partners or?
Okay. Hello, Tess. Okay. I would like to thank to the representatives of City of Melbourne, and I also would like to mention one of the actually our lecturers from Unpar, Mr. Pius, that also attends this meeting. Thank you so much, Pak Pius, to attend this meeting. Okay. So actually, Bandung generates around like 1,500 to 1,700 ton waste every single day, and this kind of event will help Bandung to increase the capability of solving the problem, especially in waste management system. And we are glad to collaborate with Melbourne side, and we can change how to solve the waste problem. Especially, we also want to learn because I also been in Melbourne for several years, and I see a lot of things there from the segregations and everything. And I hope that we can share further about this system, waste management system. And for Indonesian side, as we know, probably I can probably I will explain a little bit in Indonesian. Is it okay, Katie and Megan?
Yeah, great.
Oke, oke, oke. Jadi untuk maaf saya, selamat pagi semuanya, partisipan dari Indonesia semua. Terima kasih untuk partisipasinya. Jadi ini programnya adalah untuk apa namanya, bagaimana kita mencari solusi untuk permasalahan sampah, di mana kolaborasinya adalah dengan Melbourne City ya. Nah, kemudian di sini ada 3 partner. Jadi yang pertama 3 industri, maaf. Yang pertama itu adalah pasar tradisional, yang kedua itu dari hospitality. Nah, di sini kita punya Destiny Group sebagai partner, dan yang terakhir itu untuk Airlines. Nanti di mana untuk Food Waste Challenge ini nanti kita ada beberapa hal yang penting sih. Yang pertama itu nanti kita bisa berdiskusi langsung dengan industrinya tentang mengenai problem-problem permasalahan apa yang mereka hadapi dalam sampah, terutama food waste ya. Terus kemudian juga nanti kita ada kunjungan ke tempat industri tersebut berada untuk melihat sejauh mana sih permasalahan yang mereka hadapi. Nah, nanti kemudian ada pitching. Oleh karena itu tadi dia disebutkan bahwa yang eligible gitu ya untuk acara ini adalah harus yang memang sudah melakukan atau ada di early stage gitu. Ada di early stage atau memang sudah ada pengalaman beberapa tahun untuk apa namanya dalam pengelolaan sampah seperti itu. Saya tahu bahwa di Bandung ini kan sekarang kita lagi menghadapi apa namanya permasalahan sampah ya, di mana kita tidak mempunyai TPA, sedang galak-galaknya sekarang kita untuk apa namanya pengelolaan sampah di sumber gitu. Tapi kita juga tidak menutup untuk vendor atau pelaku usaha gitu untuk bisa bergabung dengan pemerintah Kota Bandung dalam menyelesaikan permasalahan sampah Kota Bandung seperti itu. Dan kita juga sudah punya beberapa partner yang memang sudah terverifikasi oleh pemerintah Kota Bandung, di mana kita punya regulasinya sendiri. Ya. Nah, nanti kalau misalnya memang nanti yang menang siapapun itu terus mendapatkan kesempatan untuk bisa melakukan pilot project di industri tersebut, nanti apa namanya dokumen untuk rekomendasi teknisnya itu kita akan bantu gitu dari Dinas Lingkungan Hidup. Maybe that's all I think that I can say to Indonesian participants, and I think for Melbourne, is it is it possible if Melbourne participants can also want to uh, have a solution for Indonesian problem, for Bandung problem, especially in specific industry, Megan?
Katie?
Yeah, I can jump in there and we'll go into a little bit more detail about the challenge in a second. But absolutely,
Okay.
the challenge statement, for example, for fresh food markets will be the same challenge statement given to all teams,
Okay, so I
regardless of
can
which city
actually
they're
I
in.
can explain a little bit about Bandung waste management problem. Yeah, because
Sure.
right now Bandung City has a problem because we don't have a landfill, and we are facing a severe actually a waste management problem. So this challenge, I want to invite from Melbourne side also if they have solutions for our problem, especially related with the food waste. I think it will be good. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. I think
Great.
the aim is that these are scalable solutions that can be applied in different contexts. So I
Yeah,
think,
scalable solutions. Yeah.
yeah. Katie.
Great. Okay, thank you. Um, okay, next, Piers, I think we'll throw back to you again to chat about some of the ways that the industry partners are getting involved. These are more than just loaning us their logos, but actually getting really involved in creating the challenges themselves and supporting the solutions as they progress. You're on mute. There you are.
Unmute myself. One of the great things about working with industry partners is that they're really dealing with these problems day to day. So we're going to be working with the partners to develop the challenge statements. These are the problems that they specifically are looking for help with. We'll always try to make these as broad as possible so that as many people are able to address them. But it's really important that we are addressing real world challenges. As part of that, our partners will provide industry briefings where they will actually take you into their facilities where relevant and share data about their business and the challenges. They will be able to provide feedback throughout the process. So each of our partners have key members of their teams who will be able to answer questions and point you in the right direction so that by the time you reach the final presentations, you should already have a good understanding of the relevance of your solution. And they will be part of the judging process because really what we want is real world solutions that can then be piloted by these industry partners. So throughout the process, these partners will be there to guide, inform, and then hopefully partner with you to bring your solution to life in their industry.
Great. Thanks, Piers. Okay, so now I can give a bit of detail behind eligibility for this program. So firstly, if it isn't clear, this is a program for Melbourne and Bandung participants. We understand that in some cases you might have a few people in your startup or in your team that are located in different areas. The priority is that the impact is happening in these cities. And we ask that at least one of your team members need to be located there. In the case of you being a solo founder where you work by yourself, you will need to be located in one of these cities. Also, when we're looking at eligibility, we're looking for people that are already starting to create a solution. So fantastic to have people out there that are learning about food waste now and, think that they just want to learn more and maybe create something in the future. But this challenge is for people that are perhaps already on that journey. Because the idea of the final prize is a pilot, we want to make sure that they're given enough runway to be ready for that final step for the three winners. And really keen making sure that we some really tangible ideas Don't get us wrong, though. We understand that when you put your head down and get into a solution, you can definitely fly through and create something great quite quickly, especially with support given in a challenge like this. So just something to consider is making sure that you're prepared enough for this and not stepping into the food waste world for the first time through this challenge, perhaps. The third piece there is availability. So we want to make sure you're able to attend a few key dates. The first being for our challenge overview session. That is where you'll be given your challenge statement, what you'll be responding to. Then we have in the week of the 31st of March, we have a number of back of house industry tours. You will only have to attend one of these sessions, the one that's relevant to your challenge. So for example, if you are responding to the airline challenge, you will not be expected to go to the fresh food market tour. You'd be going to your relevant activity. And the final thing to be available, at least if you're a finalist, which of course you won't know until you've completed the program, is that you will need to be available for the challenge pitch night, which is in person in Melbourne. As Piers mentioned earlier, Garuda Airlines has very generously provided the flights for our Bandung-based finalists who were selected to come to Melbourne. So that is covered, but just be keeping the dates open. So this, putting it into a different way about how progressed we think your solution should be, is that we think you really want to have a proof of concept to either a proof of concept or further along to be a part of this program. If you're still trying to work out what the problem is with food waste, you're perhaps a bit too early in your journey to get the most value out of this program. The idea is that you're starting out this proof of concept area. This program will help you build a bit of a prototype ready to create a pilot. If you win, even if you don't win, you at least have gained a lot of skills to be able to pursue your own pilots beyond those with the industry partners of the challenge. If you're in this idea generation stage or you're still identifying the problem, there is still a way for you to be involved, and that's through forming a new collaboration with some other people. You'll see on our website we have an eligibility check tool. Basically, we ask which best describes you. There's 5 options. And based on the option that best describes you, you will either be prompted to a full application form, which means that you are eligible for selection to participate in the program, or there is a find your team form, which, like we mentioned, is a way for you to find people to collaborate with and create a team for this challenge. What that looks like if you do decide to complete the find your team form, you will provide some details. These details are to do with which areas you're interested in exploring, what skill sets you have, maybe what skill sets you're looking for in a collaborator. From there, you'll get access to a database of other people that have filled out this form, their contact details, so that you can reach out via WhatsApp or text or email. And then from there, you're able to make those connections. We can see in the chat there's already some fantastic collaborations potentially emerging, and we haven't even gotten to that form. So that's really great to see people are already making some connections. Once you've found your team, if you do, we ask that you do complete a full application form with your newly formed team. As I showed on the other slide here, this eligibility check, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but the third option in the form is I've formed a new team to participate in the challenge. So if you found someone to engage with, but you aren't necessarily fitting into the box of an income generating business or an early stage startup, you can select this and you'll have the option for the application form. We do want to clarify the fact that it is your responsibility to approach prospective teammates. It is not Rocket Seed's City of Melbourne's or the City of Bandung's role to create those teams. We're creating the opportunity through that database, but you will need to make the connections yourself. As we're heading towards the end of the presentation, just want to clarify that these are some of the key dates for the challenge. We've mentioned a few of these throughout. Really key to that is that we have applications closing on the 14th of March, so do get your applications in and you'll find your team forms particularly so that you have time to find some collaborators. We have the briefing dates, the industry tour dates. All of this information will again be provided for the teams that are selected to participate in the program. Megan, do you want to jump in and mention some of our supporting partners?
Absolutely. So you would have heard earlier about the industry partners, and these are the key organizations we're working with, on developing the challenges and the pilots and the industry briefing sessions. But we've got a range of other amazing partners that are supporting us either through mentoring or promoting this challenge or providing feedback. So we've got the Australian Restaurant and Catering Association. So they're a nationwide association of restaurants and cafes, as it sounds like. They have members based around Australia, but in Melbourne in particular. And Wes Lambert, who is the president there, is going to be one of our mentors. We've got Circular Economy Victoria, which is a not-for-profit here based in Melbourne that is working on circular solutions. And Ian Wong and the team there are going to provide mentoring. Deakin University. Now, Deakin, some of you in Bandung may have heard of them. They have recently opened a campus in Bandung last year, and they are a Melbourne University who is very strong in food and ag tech. Circulise, which has created a tool for, it's an AI tool around solutions for this circular economy and food waste. So they're providing that tool to participants. Then over in Bandung Greeneration Foundation, which I'm sure those of you in Bandung would have heard of. It's as a not-for-profit working in the waste and circular economy space. The Greater Hub, which is a incubation innovation hub attached to the Institute of Technology Bandung, one of the leading tech universities in Bandung. Startup Bandung, which is a community of startups based out of Bandung. RMIT Activator is another universities here in Melbourne. The Activator program is an accelerator and incubator program for startups. They are also providing mentors, as is, sorry, I should have said, Institute of Technology Bandung and Startup Bandung, and Boomerang Labs, which is in the circular economy space, also based out of Melbourne. So this is a sample of who we've got at the moment, where these was where we'll draw a mentoring pool from with industry experts that can speak around food waste issues, but also around commercialization, around business. But we are still open. I see there's a few different ones online. We are open to other organizations that would like to become a supporting partner. Maybe you can help with mentoring or other in-kind support. Maybe you want to be a program sponsor. If any of that sounds like something that aligns with your organization's objectives, please reach out to myself or PS or Lutfi in Bandung, and we can chat more.
Great. Thanks, Megan. And what a memory to go through and remember each of those partners and what they're doing. Thank you for that. So yeah, now we're going to go through a couple of the frequently asked questions, which you can also see on our website. But at this point, I do invite anyone to add to the chat with any questions. There are a few already in there, and we will tackle those first. But if there's anything that you think we haven't covered yet and would like answered, please add it there. The first question here that we have to answer is, I have my own startup, but I don't have a team. Can I please still apply for the challenge? The answer is yes, absolutely. There's no minimum or maximum number of people in a team. We mentioned the idea of finding a team for those people that are a bit earlier on the stage, but still want to participate and think joining forces will be more useful for them. In the case that you're a founder that wants to work with another startup, or perhaps a startup that's looking for another person to add to your founding team, that's also something that we really encourage through the Find Your Team form, portal, database, can't find words, but that's how you can start those conversations. The question of, are there costs involved in applying for and participating in the challenge? No, there is no fee to apply or participate in the challenge at all. Yeah, nice bonus, completely free to participate. Another question of what the time commitment is to participate. This is a tricky one to answer, and it just does depend on where you are in your startup, how much time you're already spending on your startup, or innovation, it is really designed to spend as much resource time as you have available. So we expect that does look like 3 to 8 hours a week, for example, but it does depend on the week. So the week where we have our industry briefing or our back of house tours, you may spend more time than a week where we don't have any dedicated face-to-face or online sessions, but you might like to do a mentoring session or just a team, bit of a chat with some other people participating in the program. So it will vary, but that's roughly the time frame we've given. Clarifying how many finalists and winners there will be. Each category will have 2 up to 3 maximum finalists chosen to present at the pitch night, and each category will have 1 winner. So that ends up with 3 total winners. Again, the pitch night will be in Melbourne, and Garuda Airlines has covered the flights of our Bandung-based finalists. I will stop sharing at this point because we want to be able to see each other's faces, and I have the 4 of us here so everyone can see us. I will go to the top of the questions that I can see in the chat and go from there and through to the other panelists, I'll call us, to answer those. There was a question here. Someone has said, I'm really glad to be invited to this event. I'm coming from one of the private universities in Bandung. Sounds very interesting because of Bandung's waste management system. Can a private university join this program? I hope we can collaborate. Is anyone sick of hearing my voice? You're welcome to jump in, or I can answer that too.
I think we welcome all other organisations that want to help bring teams to the challenge. We've got our email addresses at the end of this session. So if you'd like, please feel free to drop me a note and we can talk about how to formalise that partnership. It would be really good to work with you.
Okay, I can see someone with their hands up in the chat as well, like from Telecom University too. I think it's Martha. Do you want to ask your question?
Okay, hello, good morning, Miss Kathleen, Miss Megan, and all. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Martha from Telkom University. I'm one of a researcher or lecturer in Telkom University, Indonesia, Bandung. Okay, before this discussion, me and our team already have a discussion about an idea for this opportunity about how to manage a food waste, maybe in airlines area or hospitality, because maybe we want to collaboration with one of people that arrange in airlines in Jawa Barat, in West Java, and then one campus in hospitality in Polytechnic Pariwisata and High. And then I want to asking to all of you in Telkom University, we already have research, and then we have already output the product about the incinerator. It's for a food waste in Desa Wisata, one of Desa Wisata, one of tourism village near Kabupaten Bandung, near Kota Bandung. And then we have tried to make one of the product, the incinerator, and we give it as a KSR for that village. And is it okay if we will to arrange again, but about the idea, we arrange again, but we insert the incinerator about the output of our research before. Is it okay? Or maybe there's any things from all of you, or is it okay if we going through the incinerator project to the new ideas for food waste in Kota Bandung? Thank you very much.
Katie.
I was just going to say, if you're unsure, I would just recommend applying. It's it's quite a quick application form for us. It is this, we won't necessarily, depending on how many applications we get in, we won't I'll just say 100% yes to every single person. But I do recommend definitely putting that in. It doesn't sound like there's any clashes. It will just come down to how many people are excited to participate. Lutfi, did you want to jump in too?
Yeah. Yes, thank you so much. Okay. Well, I think I hope there will be something other than incinerator or pyrolysis technology, because somehow the we're gonna make something bigger than the incinerations outside the city actually. So we would like to find another things others than incineration, I think. But it's up to the Melbourne side if it's okay to add the pyrolysis technology in this challenge or not.
Great. Okay, thank you. I think we can move to the next question. There are a few that have been answered in the chat, but I might just call those out just so that everyone can hear what the answer was without scrolling back through. Someone has said, if we're an established startup, are we still allowed to seek collaborations for new ideas and innovators? I think we may have answered that already, but yes, absolutely. You can apply as you are now and participate as your startup and collaborate with people once you're in the program, or if you'd like to complete our Find Your Team form, and collaborate with people to create a joint application as well. So yes, just lots of different ways that you can do that. Then there was a question around if the program is exclusively for institutions that are already addressing food waste, or if it's open to new ideas. Piers, you put it well. It is open to new ideas, but you need to be ready to get started quickly. I think that's a bit explained now. Great. We have Mohammed, you have your hand up there. Did you have a question? I should mention too that if there are questions about a case by case process, we can definitely answer those via email if you'd like to complete.
Hi.
If you'd like to contact us.
My name is Danny, and I'm currently based in Melbourne. However, I was born and raised in Bandung as well. I got here a little bit late, so I just wanted a little clarification about the challenge. Like would it be a solution for food waste in the industry of both cities? Like, for example, I'm on the website right now. If we're talking about fresh food markets, would it be a solution for both the Queen Victoria Market from Melbourne and Perumda Pasar Juara from Bandung?
Not necessarily. If you come up with a really good solution that's very specific to one market, that's really good. If you find a way in which it can address multiple markets, even better. But we're not prescriptive about it necessarily working in both markets. We're interested in the similarities just as much as we are interested in the differences between the markets. So yeah, we're pretty open-minded.
All right. So if there are similarities in both Queen Victoria Market and Perumda Pasar Juara, we can potentially implement it in both.
Yes, that's very right.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great question. I've lost my place in the chat. Yes, we had a question here. I'm getting there. We have the opportunity to observe and conduct research within the industry to gain insights into issues related to food waste that align with the product offered by the solution offered by our product or innovation. Yes, that's what we're providing through the program. You'll be provided with industry insight, briefings, back of house tours, and you'll of course be able to conduct your own research. We'll be providing some tools for you to do that, to help out, and some mentors that may be able to guide you along the way as well. Mohammed, do you have another question? Yes.
Sorry, just a little quick one. I'm so sorry. Are we also allowed to pitch a solution for like multiple industries, so like hospitality and fresh food markets at the same time, or are we isolating it just to one industry?
We're encouraging people to focus on an industry, but if you have a solution that happens to be more broad, I think we're happy to hear that. But we are asking teams to pick one industry just so that we can focus the support and mentors for them. But that doesn't mean your idea has to be specifically limited. And we're here to get good ideas and get them implemented no matter what shape or form they come in.
Thank you.
I think also if you make it to the final pitch competition, you'll obviously be pitching in front of an audience across all streams, so your idea will be heard by experts from all of them. But I guess maybe you could pick the one that strongestly applies for.
Thank you, Megan. And also nice to see you again, Megan.
And I see you, Danny.
Right.
There's been a few questions in the chat, Caitlin, about funding for pilots. Did you want to
Yeah,
respond to
Piers,
that?
if you want to jump into that one, I know you may have already
Piers.
responded.
Sure. We do not have a cash pool to support you developing your solutions. What we can do is once you have presented and pitched, if there is appetite from industry partners, we can help you through Rocket Seeder figure out how to finance and bring it to market. But it's really, really hard when we don't know what sort of solutions people are coming up with to be able to forecast what sort of support they're going to need. But it's our job at Rocket Seeder to help you succeed, and we will do that in a variety of different ways. But unfortunately, during the program and the challenge itself, we do not have any money or resources beyond the mentors and the information and the tours that we have already talked about.
I think just to add to what Pierre said as well, is the idea is that, if you pitch and you become the winning solution, then our industry partners have generously offered to support a pilot. What that looks like will depend obviously on your solution, but it is, I guess, in your interest to pitch such a compelling case as to why they need this in their business that they might be, willing to work with you on how that could be implemented, and that may look like advice or it may look like funding, but we don't know until we see what it is.
Right, thank you. There was a question here saying, can we apply as technology providers or EPC service? And Megan has pointed towards our eligibility check on the website. I think, yeah, we'll save the case by case where we can. Discussions just to save everyone on the call. If you'd like to go on there, and if things are still unclear, you'll be able to contact us and we can chat to you further about it. We have had a message in the chat with a question in Indonesian. Lutfi, if you want to jump in here and provide a translation, an
I
answer,
Google
and then a
translated
translation.
it, which said, is there someone that can help
Oke,
me
no
answer in
worries.
Indonesian?
Deka Kebon, if you want to, Deka Kebon silahkan kalau mau bertanya boleh. Deka Kebon, Mas Deka Kebon silahkan.
Thank you.
Ya,
Sebelumnya, perkenalkan nama saya Rizka Fauzia. Kalau di sini saya biasa dipanggil Teh Eka. Maaf Mas, saya perempuan.
oh
Saya
perempuan
sudah
maaf ya.
ya terkenal saya sendiri dari Deka Kebon. Deka Kebon itu emang wirausaha di bidang pertanian. Tapi kita masih small farmer, ya masih kecil kebunnya. Tapi alhamdulillah dalam kegiatannya kami juga melakukan pengolahan sampah-sampah organik, termasuk dari kafe, resto, sekolah maupun dari pasar gitu. Bahkan kadang kita itu ngangkutin sampah-sampah bukan hanya food waste, tapi kayak jerami yang suka dibakar oleh petani, kita juga olah kembali, sama backlog jamur yang biasa dibakar atau dibuang di pinggir jalan, kita juga olah kembali. Nah, pertanyaannya mungkin pertama, kita tuh dari Garut, apakah masih memungkinkan untuk ikut gitu kan? Ini ngomonginnya soal Bandung sama Melbourne. Terus apakah nanti apa ya? nanti outputnya kan kita di Garut nih ikut kerjasamanya nanti akan seperti apa kayak gitu.
Ya,
Makasih.
ya. Terima kasih Mbak Deka Kebon. Well, actually, she's from outside the city. She's from the Garut city. It's actually the neighboring city of Bandung, and she's from the agricultural company, and she's already integrated the urban farming with the waste management system. So she is asking whether she could also join. Okay, Mbak, mungkin what do you think about that, Megan? Is it okay from others outside the city? But probably the problem should be in Bandung because the case that we have the industry,
Yeah.
it's in Bandung. Is it correct, Megan? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like for us in Melbourne, obviously with the City of Melbourne, we want to see solutions and we want to support businesses that are operating within our city. I don't know how you operate from City of Bandung, whether you're happy to support businesses in neighbouring municipalities. I guess it's also concentration of the ideas and the networking and being able to work collaboratively together if we're wanting to host the back of house tours and the industry briefings and having the team in that. But again, like Katie said earlier, maybe it's about partnering up with someone who was in Bandung as well, so that there's
Yeah.
for you, there's a connection there. Maybe that's the solution to that. But yeah, I guess it's more of a Bandung city government question.
Okay,
I think
thank you.
it's okay because we can also apply. She can also try to understand what Bandung is facing, especially the waste management system, and try to make a solution based on what she's been doing in Garut City. I think it's okay if the case still in Bandung, but if she can replicate what she's been doing in Garut, right? To whatever we are facing right now in Bandung case. Oke Mbak Deka Kebon, jadi boleh nanti kalau misalnya Mbak mau join boleh, tapi tetap case-nya harus yang industri partner yang kita punya di Bandung gitu. Jadi Mbak bisa beraplikasi gitu, misalnya apa yang sudah Mbak lakukan di Garut itu nanti bisa, apakah bisa direplikasi di Bandung atau tidak, nanti tinggal bikin proposalnya, nanti tinggal pitching. I think it's clear, Megan. So
Thank you.
Thanks.
she can also join if she can replicate whatever she's been doing in Garut. Solutions that our partners has probably. I think it does make sense. Okay.
Thanks.
Oke, thank you. Terima kasih banyak Pak
Yeah.
sudah bantu juga
Terima
translate.
kasih Mbak Dika Kebon. Terima kasih.
Thank you. Sharon is next with your hand up. Do you want to jump in?
Hi, thank you. Good afternoon. I really do appreciate your time, and this is an extraordinary opportunity for a lot of people. And I can see with the global side with Indonesia, I'm on the Central Coast in New South Wales. Is this something that can be extended to New South Wales, or would this be something I could do in Victoria with our company?
This is sorry.
No, you go, Megan.
Because this is funded by City of Melbourne, and by City of Bandung, that's hence the the boundaries setting. Obviously, we'd love to replicate these sorts of things across the country, but we've got a limited budget. So I think the answer is that we'd want to see if you're doing it, if you're from Central Coast, but you've got business or you intend to have a business in Melbourne, or you have partners that you could work on, and you're looking at applying this to one of our Melbourne business partners or industry partners, then that's not a problem. I guess, like I said earlier, for the City of Melbourne, we are wanting to support our local businesses, hence the restrictions on that.
I'll go one step further, if that's all right. If I was to work with some schools, because my role is to go into schools and either do projects or programs with primary or high school, but also working with education to industry. If I was to select a couple of schools in Victoria or Melbourne CBD area, would that be a way that I could put this together?
I reckon we can make something work, Sharon. Why don't you drop me an email? I'm interested in the school's angle, and we're really keen to find ways to have as many people involved as possible. We've just got to stay inside that Melbourne-Bandung thing. But drop me a note and I can give you a buzz and we can have a chat and find a way through.
Thank you. Lovely. Thanks, Elle.
Great. I don't know if I've missed any other questions or if we have perhaps somehow answered everything, which is great. Megan, if you want to also have a look through the chat, make sure I haven't
Yeah, I
missed
was just looking
anything.
about the templates that you've answered. I think the key things are go along to our website, which we've dropped in the chat. There is an eligibility check there. So if you're not sure if you're eligible, you can go in there. There's also that will take you through to either the link for the application form. So there's no the template, I guess, is what we're looking for is an expression of interest. You just complete the form, it asks you some questions. It's very short and easy, and that will be submitted. Or if you're an individual and you are looking for a team, complete that one and you'll be taken through to the database where you can find team members. So I think that's the key takeaways we want you to take from today is head to the website. Everything that we've talked about today is covered in there. But obviously, if you've got any questions, there is a contact us on there as well, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. But Katie's just showing you the eligibility tool there. So and this information session is being recorded, so we'll upload that as well, so you can play it back if you didn't quite get some of the detailed responses. But here's the food waste at rocketseeder.com is your best email. If you're for participants, if you're an organization and you're thinking this sounds something that aligns with what we're doing, we'd love to be a partner or a sponsor, drop a line to myself or Lutfi in Bandung, and we can continue a conversation.
Great. Thank you. Well, yeah, thanks everyone for joining. We will wrap up the recording now and we might just leave this room open for another 5 minutes because I know we've got some great links and phone numbers and email addresses all there in the chat. So we want you to be able to gather all that down before it disappears forever. But thank you everyone for participating, and we'll be providing this recording later.